From Polynesian dancers to pop stars, the story of the Jets. In the vibrant tapestry of the 1980s music scene, a remarkable family band emerged, captivating audiences with their unique blend of Polynesian rhythms and pop sensibilities. Hailing from the unlikely city of Minneapolis, Minnesota, the Jets swiftly soared to stardom, leaving an indelible mark on the industry. With their infectious energy and undeniable talent, this group of Tongan-American siblings propelled themselves to the forefront of popular culture, redefining the boundaries of contemporary music. Join us as we delve into the captivating story of the Jets, tracing their extraordinary journey from Polynesian dancers to pop stars, and how this all came crashing down. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell to never miss a beat. How the group started. The original lineup of the Jets consisted of the 8 oldest siblings: Leroy, Eddie, Eugene, Haney, Rudy, Kathy, Elizabeth, and Mona Wolfgram, aged between 11 and 20. Originally from Tonga, a Polynesian country in the southern Pacific Ocean, the family relocated to the United States in 1965 with a mission to serve God. As devout members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, their parents embraced the biblical commandment to multiply and raise a total of 17 children, including 15 biological and 2 adopted. This strong and tight-knit family shared not only their prayers, but also their musical talents, captivating audiences worldwide. As the Wolfgram family settled in the U.S., their musical inspirations shifted towards successful American family acts like the Jackson 5 and the Osmonds. Witnessing these groups' performances on TV, the parents were motivated to guide their own children towards a similar path. Their father took the initiative of obtaining the required musical instruments, assigning one to each child for them to learn and play. During the late 1970s, their mother joined the group as a vocalist, actively participating in its formation. The early days unfold. In due course, they felt prepared to embark on their journey, touring across the United States and Canada as a Polynesian dance crew. Their performances encompass weddings, Tongan dances, and a blend of Polynesian music and popular hits from the top 40 charts. They even incorporated fire eating into their captivating act. However, their fortunes took a turn in 1982 when they found themselves stranded in Minneapolis after the Hawaiian hotels that they were contracted to perform at faced bankruptcy. It was at that moment they decided to shift their focus exclusively to pop music, recognizing that their prospects in Polynesian dance were limited. Despite leading an unconventional lifestyle, the children remained dedicated to their education, receiving daytime tutoring while entertaining audiences at various bars and lounges in Minneapolis at night. Little did they anticipate that this city would become an ideal place for them to establish roots, as it coincided with the burgeoning music scene fueled by the rise of a musician named Prince. Their big break. Shortly after, the band connected with Don Powell, their manager and a former Motown A&R executive. At the time, they were known as Quasar, named after a popular but now defunct brand of television sets. Don suggested they become the Jets, inspired by the Elton John song Benny and the Jets. He also secured a record deal with MCA Records, promoting the Jets to waste no time entering the studio to start recording. In 1985, they released their debut single, Curiosity, which quickly climbed the R&B chart, becoming their first top 10 hit. Shortly after, their self-titled debut album was unveiled, proudly featuring the family on the cover art. This marked the first time the world got to see the band's appearance, as the cover art of their single left much to the imagination. Undoubtedly, a key factor that contributed to the band's ability to reach the top of the R&B chart was a shrewd and essential marketing strategy implemented by their record label. MCA deliberately refrained from including any visuals of the band on the album cover of their single. This precautionary measure aimed to prevent radio stations from assuming that the band members were white, which could have hindered their chances of receiving airplay on black radio stations. After conquering the R&B charts, the time had come for the band to make their mark in the realm of pop music. They achieved precisely that with their second single, Crush on You, which reached the impressive position of number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100. While their third single, Private Number, didn't enjoy the same level of success as the previous tracks, their fourth and final single from the album, You've Got It All, more than compensated for it. Their captivating song, featuring the remarkable vocals of a then 12-year-old Elizabeth, soared to number 3 on the Hot 100 charts, secured the second spot on the R&B chart, and propelled their debut album to platinum status, shooting up to star status. Guided by their strong religious upbringing, the family remained vigilant, steering clear of the typical pitfalls associated with rock and roll stardom. Just a few years later, following a swift release of a Christmas album within a year of their debut, the Jets embarked on their next venture, albeit with one original member missing, Eugene, who had departed to form the pop duo Boys Club. Undeterred, the remaining members of the Wolfgram clan pressed forward and unveiled Magic in 1987. The album featured notable hits such as Cross My Broken Heart, reaching the top 10, Make It Real, peaking in the top 5, and Rocket to You, which earned them their first Grammy Award nominations for Best R&B Performance by a Duo or Group with Vocals. In the same year, the band performed the Star Spangled Banner before Game 7 of the World Series. In the following year, they graced the stage at the Summer Olympic Games in Seoul, South Korea. Problems arise. With their soaring popularity, it seemed the Jets were unstoppable. However, their bank accounts failed to align with their chart-topping success. The underlying cause lay in their earnings being funneled through Don Powell, their manager and head of the production company. Any financial request from the band members necessitated seeking Don's approval. Yet, despite their achievements, the numbers simply didn't add up. One would expect them to own properties, but instead, they continued to reside in rented accommodations. The siblings' father grew increasingly displeased, suspecting the band's manager of diverting their earnings towards other artists under his wing. However, the band couldn't afford to dwell on this issue as they had to focus on creating new material for their upcoming album. Unfortunately, this time around, they faced unexpected challenges. The music landscape was evolving, with rap gaining more prominence on radio stations, a stark contrast to the Jets' distinctive sound. Their album, Believe, released in 1989, failed to generate any chart-topping hits. Later on, Eugene would rejoin the Jets for their 1990 album, The Best of the Jets, only to depart once again shortly thereafter. In the music industry, it has become common knowledge that record labels often release best of or greatest hits compilations as a strategy to fulfill an artist's contract. Sensing the need for change, the band decided it was time to part ways with their manager, despite the label's advice against it. The Jets chose not to heed the warning, ultimately severing ties with their manager, and as a consequence, MCA also dropped them. The label was facing financial difficulties of its own and needed to offload some of its artists. Back to square one. Deprived of managerial support and lacking a major label, the band faced a dire financial crisis that led them to file for bankruptcy. Filled with anger and resentment, the Jets were compelled to return to their humble beginnings, performing at nightclubs and casinos for meager earnings. On a personal level, Elizabeth encountered the battle of her lifetime at the tender age of 19, as she received a devastating breast cancer diagnosis in its advanced stage, necessitating a mastectomy. Given a mere 5 months to live, she defied the odds and emerged victorious, gaining a renewed perspective on life and prompting her to contemplate the direction she wished to pursue in the future. In the following decade, the Jets unveiled several more albums, although none garnered substantial attention. Along the way, several original members chose to step out of the spotlight. Kathy embarked on an 18-year career as a flight attendant for United Airlines, discreetly maintaining her anonymity. Elizabeth and Mona fulfilled their aspirations of starting families, while Kathy and 2 other sisters briefly reunited with them in 2006 to form a gospel quintet, resulting in the release of a single album. Eddie assumed the role of a video store manager, while Leroy, Haney, and Rudy preserved as the trio, preserving the Jets brand, eventually welcoming some of their younger siblings into the fold in 2010. Fight for the Jets. Gathering for a 25th anniversary concert in Minneapolis, all the original members of the Jets reconvened. Naturally, speculation arose regarding the potential for a permanent reunion. However, realizing that half of the band members held divergent visions for their comeback, the idea of a unified return became unexpectedly challenging. Consequently, the Jets found themselves divided into two factions, entangled in a bitter legal dispute over rightful ownership of the band's name. Interestingly, it was revealed by Mona during a detailed interview with LDS Living for their All In podcast in February 2022 that the decision to pursue legal action originated from the siblings' own parents. Tensions had been simmering among the siblings for many years, exacerbated by the band's split from their management and record label. One faction within the family was determined to go to great lengths to sustain a musical act, while the other desired to explore new ventures outside of music. Given their lack of college education and the family's reliance on them as breadwinners, there was immense pressure to continue, whether they truly desired it or not. As time passed, the mounting differences of opinion between the siblings and their parents reached a breaking point. Some original members even faced replacement by other siblings if they failed to comply with directives. Ultimately, the pursuit of business took precedence over family, leading to their division. After a period of time, all parties involved managed to reconcile and reach a resolution regarding the lawsuit. Presently, the Wolfgram family finds themselves in a positive state, maintaining civility among one another. Despite differing visions of the group's direction, they hold a mutual respect. This is reflected in the existence of two touring groups, comprising the original Jets, both utilizing the band name and enjoying a full schedule of performances. One group consists of Haney, Leroy, and Rudy, while the other comprises Elizabeth, Eddie, Kathy, Mona, and their younger sister Natalie. And so, the extraordinary journey of the Jets, from Polynesian dancers to pop stars, unfolds with its twists and turns, triumphs and challenges. This talented Tongan-American family band from Minneapolis, Minnesota, defied the odds and made a substantial mark on the music scene of the 1980s. With their infectious energy, undeniable talent, and a unique blend of Polynesian rhythms and pop sensibilities, they soared to stardom. Although faced with financial struggles, personal hardships, and internal divisions, the Jets continue to persevere and preserve their legacy. Today, two touring groups comprising the original members and their younger siblings proudly carry on the band's name, each charting their own course and entertaining audiences with their huge catalog of music. The story of the Jets is a testament to the power of family, resilience, and the pursuit of one's dreams against all odds. It serves as a reminder that even in the face of adversity, music has the remarkable ability to unite, inspire, and uplift us all. Thank you for joining us, and don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on more fascinating stories from the world of music.